It's an evening that I never anticipated, never could have anticipated, and frankly, not sure I deserve to be here in spite of all those kind remarks that Tom just shared with all of us. I'd also like to thank and congratulate Mike Thayer and Chris Irvin for their service and their award recognition this evening. When I first got this phone call and heard Jack Johnson's name associated with this service award, I've known Jack a long time, and I don't believe he's here this evening, but if you think of the many things Jack did to serve all of us in this room for well over 30 years, and probably a lot longer than that, but 30 years as an educator, a distinguished award winner himself, state championship level coach, a tremendous educator, a Hall of Famer, served on the Rep Council for the MIAAA for many years, chaired this conference in its early years. And the awards that Jack has earned over his career are so many that we shouldn't even take the time to try to list them. He's a special man, and the fact that the service he gave to all of us in this room over the many years is it's legendary. It's a model for all of us to hope to be part of, and for the MIAAA to select me to receive an award with Jack's name attached to it, well, it means that somehow we tried to do it right, because that's how Jack would have done it. So, on behalf of my family and myself, the MIAAA, thank you so much for this award this evening. I think when I begin to process all the people I'd like to mention, I'm reminded of a story that it's about a turtle, and I like to tell the story this way. When I was about a middle schooler, my father and I were out just rolling around in our property, walking around, and happened to be walking around along the side of this wooden fence row. And after about a 10-minute walk, I noticed a turtle sitting on the very top of this 6-7 foot high wooden fence post. And I looked at that turtle, puzzled like any of us would, and I was just a middle schooler. And I said, "Hey, Dad, how'd that turtle get there?" He didn't know what to say, so we kept walking for a little bit. Finally I said, "Hey, no, how'd that turtle get there?" And my dad looked and said to me, "Son, I don't know how it got there, but I'm pretty sure it didn't get there by itself." Which leads me to the next part of this answer to you, all of you here tonight, is that I didn't get here by myself either. And I tried to work hard and have fun for all of my career, but as we all know, if you try to do this job and you do it right, you better have a supportive family. My wife Shelley is here this evening. My son and my daughter Molly are here. My mother-in-law Sandy. 3 of my former players are here. Ironically enough, Matt Moffitt, Todd Bestarkey are here. And 3 of my colleagues at Chelsea. 3 of the best decisions I was part of making at Chelsea High over the years: Jason Morris, and Brad Bush, and Tracy Stouffer, who I got to work with and alongside every day for a lot of years at Chelsea. And as we all know, if you want to be good at this job, you better have a lot of really good people around you. And in Chelsea, we have a lot of really good people around us. So toward that end, I'd like to thank my family, thank my colleagues at Chelsea, and I'd like to thank my brother-in-law Mike, who sits to my right as our next president. He'll do a great job leading all of us. I'm very proud of him, and I thank him for the nomination for this award this evening as well. Part of the other things I know I didn't get there by myself include the city of Chelsea. As Tom mentioned, I got to go home. I didn't have a plan to go home, kind of worked out that way. Thrilled that I did. I always said I wouldn't stay too long. So a few years ago, I made the decision to see what else was out there, but it was really hard. And when I left, I might have mentioned to Tracy, and I'll stay out of the way, I just won't be very far away. And I love Chelsea. We tried to do a lot of things together. Our community shared a vision that we had to have first-class facilities. That standard was to always play the highest level of state competition that the MHSA has in Chelsea, and do it as often as we can. We raised our hand a lot. And you know, the thing about Chelsea is, if you have an idea and you can explain it, you share a vision, that the whole community jumps on board, not just a few people, not just the school, but our whole community. And for me to go back there and to proudly wear for 33 years as a coach that 7-letter word Chelsea across the front of my shirt, very few things made me more proud. We tried to do it right, we tried to host right, we tried to treat everybody that we met along the way the right way. And somewhere along the line, it got to be the Chelsea way, and I'll speak to that here in a few minutes. But in the end, you learn over the years, it's not about the wins and losses. It's not about the awards and recognition. It's really about all the people you interact with and you come into contact with. I stand up here tonight to say this. I have as many really wonderful friendships and relationships with people in this industry just because of the opportunities you have in athletics. Game officials, I can think of Mike Kniewisch and Dave Sontag and Dick Callahar and so many of the awesome game officials that we got to work with over the years at Chelsea. Truly tremendous guys. I call them friends today. And yeah, when the game was going on, sometimes we didn't like each other all that much. We'd get after it a little bit when we compete, but those relationships are truly special. My relationship with colleagues in the Southeastern Conference, the award-winning Dottie Davis, who is here this evening, and many others in our league, I learned a lot from watching those men and women work at their craft every day. Clem Corona at Saline High School was a mentor, and he probably doesn't even know it. I kept my mouth shut and listened to what Clem did for a lot of years. And you can learn a lot by watching people who are really good at what they do. And Clem was really a true friend to me at that time. People at the MIAAA, when you pick up the phone and you talk to anybody, whether it's Jack or Mark Ewell or Randy Allen or Tom, I always appreciated those phone conversations. You knew when you called Tom, though, somehow he had screened your call and knew what you were going to ask him, because when I say, Tom, I got this question about this Dwayne that's on page 86, it's section 4, it's article 3, just read it. And I said, Tom, I have read it, what does it mean? And he had an uncanny knack of knowing how to do that, but when we were done with that business, almost to every phone call, I appreciate hearing what Tom had on his plate or what Jack had on his plate. And like many of the conversations with Greg Laddick and other ADs in here who I got to interact with during my time at Chelsea, I love those phone calls. I love building the relationship, because at the end of the day, the impact all of us have on other people is what truly counts. It's building the relationship, it's having the friendship, it's trying to do it the right way, listening and learning, and you try to do the very best you can. I learned a lot from so many. When we go back to that Chelsea way thing, I don't even know where that started. It was surely not a thing I coined. But if I think about what it is, I can try to explain it to you really quick, and it's not any earth-shattering or groundbreaking news. It's simply the way we tried to do it at Chelsea, and I'm pretty proud of it. Number one, it's about the team. Not just the teams with the athletes on them. It's our team of coaches, it's our school board, it's our administration, it's our teaching staff, the support staff, all those teams that help us make it right and do it right. It's all about the team. It's always about representing Chelsea in a first-class way. First class in everything we do, from the way we get off the bus to the way we treat another team, our opponent, when they get off the bus. It's how we treat the game officials when they arrive and when they leave and during the contest. We're going to try to do it right. For me, it was always about working harder than anyone else, but it was having fun while we were doing it. The staple of the baseball programs that we had under my head coaching leadership, those were two of the only things we ever asked. And maybe we had a third one, and that was just do it right. We're going to work harder than everybody else. My promise was always to my coaches and to my student athletes when I coached that I'd work harder than anybody we competed against. But my promise more so to myself is it was going to be fun. It had to be fun. It's about hiring the guys like Brad Bush and Jason Morris to be leaders and role models for our student athletes. People always ask me, what's the most important thing you have to do as an athletic director? The answer was always simple, it was always quick. You hire the very best people you can to put in front of kids. If you do that part right as an athletic director, your job really is pretty easy. And for me, my job at Chelsea couldn't have been easier. Again, it's about the love of those 7 letters across the front of your shirt, not really caring about the letters on the back. And to wear Chelsea for so long was truly a time of pride for me. It always will be. As Tom mentioned, I prepped there as a student athlete, played 3 sports I ultimately coached in, and I'm very pleased that Joe Piasecki, our superintendent of schools at Chelsea, convinced me to be an interim athletic director for the remaining of a school year, and then I think I talked him into letting me coach and continue to be the athletic director beyond that. So I'm forever grateful for those the opportunity Joe gave me. He trusted me, and he was a really good man. And lastly, that Chelsea way, it's about competing every day. Doesn't matter whether you win or lose, but you're gonna know that the opportunity to play for Chelsea really meant something. For me, the opportunity to live there, to raise my family there, to see my son in coaching now to this day, my daughter working hard for Under Armour, in a way staying in athletics. It was all about doing it right. Because high school athletics done right, or amateur athletics done right, for me, there's nothing better if you do it right. They give you lifetime memories and friendships made that you'll never forget. And for me, I've been lucky. I'm honored to receive this award tonight. Thank you for listening to me. I want to let you know, all my colleagues, I miss working with you, I truly do. I often get asked, if you had to start over, would you do it again? In a heartbeat. I miss it. I'm so thankful to the MIAAA and everyone here this evening. It means a lot, and I had the best job there is, and we got the right man doing that in Chelsea now. Thank you so much.